Hi guys, what are we gonna do today? Today I am working with some of this new metal trim I just got and how to decorate boxes or frames. And then we're gonna also show you how we decoupaged in the inside of these to make a fun finished piece. Let's get started.
So to start, I am using this 5x7 wood blank, and it's a frame. You could use one side or the other. I'm gonna use it this way, and I'm using some of this new metal trim that I have. I've cut some pieces apart. It actually comes in a 10-foot roll, and depending on the size of your frame or your box, you may need more or less. For this one, I'm gonna use 4 of these pieces for the long end, and I'm gonna be using 3 for this end. I'm cutting this so this little circle right here and to this little circle right here. So I'm gonna cut this metal to fit on this frame. I'm doing my 2 longer ends first. So I'm just cutting this one end and that is going there. I need to go right here on this side. Cutting it apart, and I'm really measuring up to the bottom edge, so the bottom edge fits all the way across. Now you could nail or staple these on as you go or after you have them all cut. I think I am going to staple these in as I go because I can see this fits to the 2 ends. And I just have this heavy duty nail staple gun. I'm gonna cut the other end. This metal will cut with just regular scissors. And make sure you get all these little sharp points off. And I'm bringing it down further to the end. You could bring it up like this if you'd like. So what I'm doing with this is I'm gonna cut 3 of these, and you can see I'm trimming the top. I'm gonna cut a little bigger and then I'll trim down as I need. There we go, and that fits very nicely right, whoops, just a teeny bit more on this edge, because I want it to be really flush and not overlap. See, that fits really flush in there, nice and tight. Now I'm going to nail this little guy in. Then I need 3 more on this side. A little extra room just in case, and then I will trim off. So if any little tacks or nails are sticking up, you can hammer them down. You just don't want to hammer too much on your embossed metal. This one's up a little. Just making sure that these are all flush. And there we go. Now that was pretty easy. Now we're going to paint it. So I am using crinoline. This is my DIY paint, and I am just going to paint this. You could use whatever color you would like. And I am just gonna paint the surface. I may need 2 coats. I'll see when this dries. If you'd like, paint your sides and your back. And you can decide if you wanna paint the back. Let this dry and we'll decide if we need another coat. This is dry. I am gonna put my polyacrylic crystal clear sealer on. This is from Minwax, and I'm just gonna put a sealer over this paint. So I am just gonna let this dry, and then we're going to add a black color to the top. And I'm gonna be putting my image over the top of the center, so you're not gonna be seeing the center. I just wanted it a little bit finished, but it's going to be completely covered on the inside. So we're just gonna let this dry. So this is dry, and what I'm gonna do is I'm taking my black DIY paint, and this is black velvet, but you could use any color for accent that you would like, and I am just gonna go over all of the sealed places. And then we're going to be wiping this back. So I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to wipe it back. So this is dry. I'm just taking a baby wipe, and I am going to wipe back a bunch of the black until I get to the look I want. If you happen to take off too much and you want more, you can always add more again, let it dry, and wipe back again. When you're using a baby wipe, you really need to turn it around and get new ones, because otherwise all you're doing is spreading the black paint to another area. But you can already see how this is filling in very nicely. And if you need to, you can support the metal so you don't bend it too much, but it's really, it's fairly strong that it's not going to go anywhere just by doing this. Continue on and keep rubbing off until you get the look you're trying to get. I've wiped back what I want to wipe back. I'm going to add a little bit of my Vintage Photo Distress Oxide in a few of the areas, and it's going to warm this up. If you just wanted it just the black and white, I would just leave it then. And then I'm going to put one more coat of sealer on this, and then we're going to work on our inside. And the sealer is going to help move the Distress Oxide around also. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and we're going to start on the piece that's going in the center. So I took a piece of this recycled paper. I took this black dress form and decoupaged it onto this chipboard. And I cut a smaller piece out that I'm going to layer on a larger piece. And now what I'm going to do is do this larger piece that fits into this frame, and it's right around 3.5 by 5.5. And I'm going to decoupage this piece to here, and then I'm going to adhere this to the top of it. And I'm using a transfer medium, and this is actually a Mod Podge with some gel medium, but use your favorite technique for decoupaging paper. I'm gonna use my Distress Oxide and just go on the edges here. And then I'm gonna decoupage to the center of this. So let me trim this off. And since it's chipboard, I don't want to use a sanding stick to get the paper off. I'm just going to use my scissors. Make sure I have a nice coat on this, because this is chipboard. I could have used double stick tape also. To give it a little more interest, I'm just going to use some of these words off of here in the lighter color and just decoupage them over the top. Let this dry. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to use a heavy double stick tape. And you could just decoupage this in, and I'm going to adhere it inside of my frame. Okay, so I've peeled off the paper, and I am just going to set this in, press this down. If you'd like to add any shimmer with gold or silver wax, you could do that, but I'm pretty pleased just with how it is.
So I hope you guys thought this was fun, and you come up with your own ideas. If you're interested in this, we have us on our shop page, and it comes in 10-foot rolls. So you're getting just over 3 yards. Hope you give us a try, but whatever you do, have fun.